What's up, guys? Welcome back again. So today is all about talking about stepping outside your comfort zone, doing something that makes you uncomfortable, because we know when we step outside our comfort zone, that's where the growth happens. That's where we can actually start to learn, that we can start to grow, that we can actually start to build our own self-confidence within ourselves. So I think I've touched on this before, that we're never fully confident in doing something at the very start. For example, driving a car. And when we first start driving a car, we haven't a clue what we're doing. How do you change gears? How do you use the clutch? How hard do you press on the brake? It's a bit all over the place. But over time, we build up our confidence, and eventually we can start to do it without even thinking about it. And that's going to be the same for other areas of our life, other things that we really want to focus on, other kind of things that we want to actually get better at and have more confidence in. So kind of building our own self-confidence, building our confidence in ourselves, building confidence in other areas of our lives is going to follow the same type of principles. So it's going to be first figuring out what do we want to be able to achieve, and then kind of setting in stone the steps that we need to take to move forward. So what is our comfort zone? So our comfort zone is basically when we're about to do something and we can get this feeling of fear, of butterflies. We might get a dry mouth, and we might start to get these negative thoughts popping up. And when that starts to happen, what's really going on is our bodies are trying to keep us in a safe place. Because at the end of the day, our bodies are designed to keep us safe. So going outside of our comfort zone is stepping out into the unknown. It's doing something that you haven't necessarily done so much before that you actually feel comfortable in. And that's what we want to do today, is we want to actually start the process that we can actually start to recognize the feelings, start to recognize the emotions that come up, and start to recognize our own negative self-talk that comes up. So for example, in around self-confidence and stepping outside your comfort zone, something for me, when I think back on it, public speaking is a huge one. Because if I think right back into my teenage years, I was so shy, I was so self-conscious, I couldn't speak in front of people, let alone a group of people. It could be just two or three people, and I'd be absolutely shitting it. And I'd get the fear of butterflies, negative self-talk, the dry mouth, the cold sweats. All this stuff would start to pop up because I was out of my comfort zone. Because straight away, all this negative self-talk was going on, saying, "You're no good. Why are you talking to them? They're probably just thinking negative things about you. Don't say anything, because if you say something, they're probably going to laugh at you." So straight away, I had these barriers come up, I had these walls coming up, and it just felt me feel so trapped. So in order for me to overcome that, it took a long time, but it also took a lot of persistence. It took a lot of stepping outside of my comfort zone. Now I've ran a good few seminars, I've ran a good few talks, I've spoken in front of, I think it was up to maybe 80 to 100 people. And getting to that stage took time, but it took me about being persistent in what I was doing, because I wanted to build up my own self-confidence. I wanted to build up my own self-belief. I wanted to be able to speak freely in front of people and not have to worry about getting shut down about from my own negative self-talk. So that was me really kind of stepping outside my comfort zone. So today is really about, first of all, getting you to recognize the emotions and feelings. The second thing is asking you, what area of your life do you want to start to build more confidence in? What area of your life do you feel you need to be stepping outside your comfort zone more? Is it going to be public speaking? Is it going to be stepping away from a job you don't like to push yourself into a higher role, or to be going for a different job that you know is going to be a lot harder, it's going to be a lot more challenging, but you're sitting in your comfort zone at the moment and you have that fear of actually going for it, or even going for an interview? So I want you to ask yourself, I want you to kind of really focus on, what is it that you truly want? And perhaps you may want to get fitter, you might want to get stronger, you want to change your body composition, might want to lose some weight or look a specific way, but you have that fear in the back of your head saying, I can't go to the gym, I don't know what I'm doing, I look like a fool, I people will be looking at me, people will be making comments about me. So all this negative self-talk is going to be in the back of your mind, and it's going to be stopping you from actually taking those steps and moving forward for you to actually get moving in the direction that you want to go. Now, with the gym part going in there, I can tell you now, people are more concerned about looking at themselves in a mirror than looking at anybody else. So it can be daunting, it can be hard to take that first step, but from working in the gym now for over 11 years, I can tell you, just go for it, because it could be massively life-changing for you. Even though it can be fearful, even though you will have all this negative self-talk, but believe me, once you get going and once you get into it, then it can be completely life-changing. What I'd suggest you do as well is find yourself a trainer. Find someone that you connect with. Don't just go look for any trainer and go, oh, here's a personal trainer, I'm going to book in with them. Find someone that you can relate with, find someone that you can connect with, because then they will make you feel comfortable while you're actually in the gym as well. It's the same when it comes to, if you want to learn more about public speaking, find someone that you know that maybe works within a big company, or someone that has a lot of confidence and does a lot of public speaking. Find someone like that, connect with them, and get them to kind of guide you in moving forward. So that's what today is about. It's about figuring out what you want, the direction you want to go, and then just truly asking yourself, be completely open and honest about this. Ask yourself, what do you need to do to start stepping outside your comfort zone? Because I guarantee you will come up with something. You will come up with a couple of things that you can actually start to do. And when you start coming up with these things, you will start to automatically create a plan within your mind that you can actually use to start moving forward. And what I want you to do as well right now as an exercise. So one, write down what it is you would like to be able to achieve, where it is that you want to be able to go. Then write down what are the steps you need to take to get there. Now, you may not have a definite plan in place, but just write down the first thing that comes into your mind. Now, the second thing, I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time you felt a fear? A fear as in stepping outside your comfort zone. Because like we all step outside our comfort zone at some stage. Could be right back when we were in school or whatever it may be. But think of a time when you had to push yourself outside your comfort zone. Think of the emotions, think of the feelings that came up, think of the negative self-talk that may have came up. Did you get cold sweats? And next I want you to ask yourself, or even just write down, what did you do to overcome that, to really kind of step out and do whatever it is that you were doing when you were outside your comfort zone? Did you completely just fold up and walk away from it? Did you continue, and did you come out the other end of it? And if you did continue, and if you did get through it, and if you did come out the other end of it, I want you to recognize that as a success. I want you to recognize that as a time that you have already broken the barrier, that you've already pushed through and stepped outside your comfort zone. And whatever it is that you've done in the past, I want you to kind of really kind of reflect on that now and ask yourself, have you done that again and again? And if you have, how do you feel about doing that right now? Is it something that gives you that fear straight away? Is it something that gives you that cold sweats? Because the more we do something, the more comfortable it gets, and the wider our comfort zone starts to expand. Now, public speaking, it's still something I kind of struggle with, but I don't have a complete mental barrier, that I will do it regardless. I'll still step out there, I'll still take action, and I'll still move forward. I still get these cold sweats at times, I still get a little bit of negative self-talk, but I've strengthened my mindset now to be able to actually still push on through regardless of all the stuff that may be going back on in the back of my mind. I still suffer with social anxiety at times, and again, it's just something I've recognized, and it's something that I will push through anyway. So that's another thing with this, is that we got to keep on pushing, we got to keep on moving forward, and not let it hold us back. So for today, really, I want you to really focus on understanding the direction you want to go, the emotions and feelings attached with it, and knowing that this is something that's going to lift you up, this is something that's going to move you forward, and this is something that can actually drastically start to impact your life, especially when you want to build up confidence, especially when you want to build up self-esteem, especially if you want to look a certain way, or improve your health and fitness, or drop weight, or whatever it may be. You just have to do it. You just have to push forward, because it will have a positive impact on your life. And like I said, the more you do it, the more impact it's going to have, and the better you're actually going to feel for doing it. And the more times you do this, what you can do then is you can actually start to recognize every time you push yourself forward as a success. And I want you to bank all those successes. By banking all those successes, it starts to strengthen your own belief in what is possible for you to be able to do. Because anytime then you come against another wall, you can say, do you know what? I felt this before. I've come across these walls. I've come across all this negative self-talk, but I pushed on through, and this is what happened to me before. So now I know if I do it again, I'm going to be able to push through, I'm going to be able to move forward, and I'm going to be able to have a positive impact on my life. So guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope you gained something from this. But yeah, thank you for taking the time to jump on today, and I will catch you on the next episode.